as much as you need me. As you could see in the headline today for the live, I said XRP holders, is a price surge coming? Well, I did not expect it to happen like this, but it's something that was anticipated to see how we retested that 63.3 area. But further on, after we hit this support bottom that we talked about, as long as we hold this, then our next resistance would be up here at 647. And if we can break out of this, then we have a technical move that gets very exciting here. So we'll get into all of this, but I'm very excited about what the possibility is, even if this is a fake out, because it's confirmed our pattern. We front ran this on this first layer, first hit, second hit, got another one here. Now it bounced off of here. So could this have put in a sneaky inverted head and shoulders pattern here right on the fly? 1, 2, 3, out, back test, boom. That's what you'd be looking for. That's exactly what we would be looking for if this can in fact break out bullish. And with Bitcoin, we've talked about, it's not necessarily going to break down here. Bitcoin still needs to confirm the retest or the continuation here. Now it's created what could be argued as maybe a little bit of a bottoming formation. It's not, you can't say it is, but we can start to speculate if maybe, just maybe, we're starting to bottom. We know if we come down from where we've already come through the technical targets, 59,984. But I have speculated here the last couple days that in fact Bitcoin could, even if bearish, come back up, because if it is a head and shoulders pattern, a topping reversal, I dare say, or I don't think it would be a head and, see, this is what I don't think. I don't think it's gone up this high and it could just be a head and shoulders pattern. My own speculation is, even if it's ready to round back down a little bit, I speculate that it needs to create what looks like a double top formation like that. And then we could start to rotate, because right now, a lot of built up pressure where we came down. And I would be surprised if it doesn't form another wing of the Batman top, the M topping reversal with the hit somewhere around 73,000. I'd be rather surprised here if it doesn't do that. That's why I've been leaning that way. But I've been conditioned. I've been told everybody the technical target, if it cannot correct here, is 59,984. So we're going to get to how we get there. But XRP is the exciting part, as it's popped here just in the last couple minutes. Just in the last couple minutes. We've just gone up. And now, obviously, we're going to do a quick correction here, because we see that 1 minute sell volume supersedes the strongest 1 minute candle here. So look for the correction now. But we very quickly came and filled out this pattern. Now look, we bounce off the support, so it validates what we said about this level down here. And now as it comes across, now that it's come here, we'll reevaluate the targets. But we just had a quick, and I mean a quick, 6 to 7% push here in XRP's price. This is why it's very hard sometimes to try to delegate with XRP, because I guarantee somebody sold at 65, 64, and they had a chance at 59. And now all of a sudden here, I don't make stuff up in my titles. I actually put what I think could possibly happen, and then we go from there. It's a price surge right now. Now, can it be validated by a confirmed signal here that we are ready to push past here? Now we can push up to a technical target of about 72 cents. Not yet. We have to get over 646, hold. We're going to go through all of this in the live. I'm very excited about this timing right now, but don't give your hopes up, because just as easy as it came up, this could be a quick wick. More whales are coming in to sell, as we had 25 million again earlier sell. So this could just be the trading bots giving the whales the best opportune moment. As we know, Ripple's been selling a lot of XRP, but like I said yesterday, to me that was a good sign. Ripple selling, we managed to hold. So I'm not one that feels sorry for myself when I'm watching XRP. In fact, I enjoy how a lot of people talk about XRP, how they talk about it can't do anything, because it gives me the time to accumulate, but it also gives me the time to accumulate other projects like today in the back burner. I'm very excited. As I said, I'd bring one every day, 2 days, 3 days. Where the heck did it go? That I would bring, one of the gaming tokens, because we do have the gaming convention coming up, and I know we're very excited about XRP. But just remember, this could be a fake out here. So didn't get past 645. I'm not going to be tricked by XRP either way. So it doesn't matter. This is why I like spot is king, in my opinion. Because even though this could be a fake out that drives us lower, You don't have to get liquidated out of longs and shorts. You don't have to get liquidated out of leverage trading. But you can watch this now. We can watch the market transparently and see exactly how this is going to flow. Somebody just bought in, though, on our support level. We've had a few people that message and said they bought in on the support. And now all of a sudden, just by buying in and understanding the support zone, even from 605, they were up a quick 7%. This is how crypto is when you find the right areas. We diagnosed the levels and we knew the only way to drop 15% or 12% was to validate that resistance on that formation, and we did not. It played in our favor right now. So please hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video. I would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciative, because then we can continue to expand the audience and we can continue to make a dent here. As I believe what we do here is special because we don't let our emotions dictate our next move, but we also have a fundamental understanding when it comes to the setup with cryptocurrency, but not just XRP, just the grand scale. Even when you go into commodities and precious metals and gold, silver, the DXY, government bonds, we understand it from many different ways. Many different ways. And this is the one I am targeting right now very hard. And I'm only $80 into it for a reason, because I wanted to get a starting point. And now going into the gaming convention, I've got to come to a delegation in my own head. Do I do $15? Do I do $20 a day? Because I don't care price now. See, this is, I believe, after this dump off, we've had a nice accumulation. This will get into you. Man, this is just a nice one in overall. But we'll get into this. We'll get into this because I think it's going to get a rejection, hopefully. Then it should come back down into this 5. I don't know if it will, especially what XRP just did. I was hoping this would dot cross, start to shoot down here after basically what happened. Had a nice little run up. We're leading into the gaming conventions. It's like a month and a half away. Right now we have the AI conventions. I believe that money's going to shift into the gaming tokens, into the meme, like the gaming the AI sphere, but not, into the artificial world, when we get into that. So I'm looking for a healthy correction here of about 47 to 50% from the top. Now it already did come down 37.8 once, came back up. So now we're going to be able to, we're going to form the pattern on the fly together. So we'll get to that later, but make sure you pay attention to that, because between that, with AMP coming back down, I've got a targeted buy-in that I'm going to buy it back in. And I might start sooner rather than later, as we sold out at 1.7 cents after buying it at just about half a penny, as it ran up very quickly in a 3-day period. So now we're trying to shuffle and position in the right possible spots. But like I said with XRP, don't get too excited, because we need to see if this is for real or if this is just some more hocus pocus in the, the facade that is. I always become skeptical when XLM isn't running with it. So I didn't come on super excited, but I came on excited nonetheless. So good evening, 6:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 18th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, much to the dismay of most of you, or probably most of the people that are in XRP, either this is a gigantic fake out, or this is another trap before another continuous move down. Because right now, XRP is hinting that it's got a chance to break out of here. The volume did come up, but nothing like, blow us out of the water. But we did have a decent volume surge there. Nothing crazy. But what we did was we had a nice push off of the support. So basically it just filled this out. So if you were watching this and you use this uptrend and then you were making a trade, well, it shot up right from that uptrend. So at least it was able to hold there. We'll get into the comments. We'll get into everybody who's here. I don't know how many people. There are people here. But please, we need to do a much better job at hitting that like button. Only 63 people out of 177 people so far have hit that like button. If for any other reason, I want to see something here. 64 people have hit that like button. Do you think XRP is going to break out right now? Hit that like button if you think XRP is going to break out. There were 64 likes when I asked that question. So please, I would love to know. Holy tamales. While I'm reading through the comments, make sure you look at the video description below and or pinned comments in this live at BITUNIX for the high times of volatility. If you want to make a trade, but you don't want to get wiped the floor of when it comes to the buy and selling fees. So heck, you could even be a swing trader on BITUNIX because you're not getting killed with the fees. It's in the video description below and or pinned comments. You can leverage trade and or spot trade in the USA. No VPN required. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. So make sure you take advantage of that. It's always up during the high times of volatility. And the fact that it's so much cheaper, I know there's a lot of people that are using it based on the comments now. They understand what I'm talking about not being the victim of an exchange when you buy and sell. I can't even tell you how frustrating it is. Like when I bought AMP on Uphold. And then when I sold it, it cost me like $80. $80 out of that nice profit went goodbye. If I would have just done it on BITUNIX, it would have cost me like $4 on the out. Not to mention it was like $18 or $20 on the in. So there's $108 right there that I can't get back. To where it would have cost me less than $10 on BITUNIX. So I'm not, step by step, I'm taking steps to not have to deal with Uphold in that regard when I'm buying and selling. I will just hold it on the exchange if that's the plan until it's ready to go if it's something. But a lot more education has gone into it the last couple of years. So I'm very aware now of how to get the best bang for my buck. So make sure you pay attention to that in the video description below and or pinned comments. And if it's not available to you, MEXC. They have no spot fees right now, but it's not available in the USA. So take advantage if you can, either or. But right now with the formation, I mean, it's not a surprise we bounced off of that because it's still, and don't think it's just not going to come down. Now right here, you would have a technical breakdown if it happens. And still, the technical target's in the same spot. It just moves up a little bit. Until we break out one way or the other, it's just ironic that it pushed out to where I pushed to break out because typically, the reason I measured it in that spot is because typically if it breaks out, it's about 70% through the pattern. Well, we're coming here 65, we're coming to the back third of this pattern now. So it would have to break out here if it's going to do it in a traditional sense. And there is a making here for something to happen, but there is a very big chance this is a fake out. Now, we have to ask ourselves, was the wave 3 to wave 4 correction enough right here? Because the start of wave 3 correction happened right here at 74 cents. On that rejection of the 77-month consolidation, this is where wave 3 started, or ended, and wave 4 correction began. This is the last correction before the wave 5 expansion. While I know a lot of people are talking about crazy high numbers, we realize that wave 4 is typically no greater than wave 2 to 3. Well, wave 2 to 3 right now, we have 48 to 72. Well, let's just say the expansion would go from the breakout at 72. Well, that leg could bring you up over $1 if that were to go that way. But I'm not even willing to say that that's completely exhausted yet, this expansion down, or the tug back down for the what's the word I'm trying to find? The supply zones. So we've come out of demand. Now we got to go back to supply. We got to supply back up. We've got a lot of demand higher up. We don't have enough supply now. Look at it that way. So now we're coming back down until we get the best bang for the supplies, and then we can unload the demand to the consumer. So, in my opinion, do I think this is a breakout or a fake out? I'm not ready to say it's a fake out yet, but I'd be absolutely impressed if it broke out here. That volume, though, in the 5-minute is suggesting that this is more than just a volumeless push, at least. So, I like 51, but you said 52, 3. What are you talking about? Are you really chopping at my balls for that? 51 or 52? It can go anywhere between there. It can go anywhere between there, 51 and 50. Honestly, I said 48 to 52.5 cents if you want to break it down to the actual, lingo. So no, I'm just in a moment. I'm in a moment. So I got a high energy level right now. So no, Kryptonian, that's not, that was just more of a, me. So, but yeah, it can go to be transparent. It could technically go between 48 and 52.5 cents. But if with this recent push up, what if it does break here? And then it's like 53 cents. Well, and then we have a wick above, we're just splitting hairs here. So let me get through some of the comments. I was very excited out of the gate. If you do appreciate my work and you want to show support, consider joining Tom's Army and paying it forward, as I don't charge for any of my content. I show you every single move I make or exit, and I don't make you sit through the nonsense of different products or any BS like that. I'm not going to promote something to you, even though I could easily promote the VPN right now, the Express VPN. I could easily do that and make commission because it would be influential for the audience, but it wastes time. Then I got to do a 5-minute segment on that because that's a conditional agreement, or at least a 2-minute spot 3 times in live in an hour. Like, I'm not doing that stuff. It would take too much away. So anyhow, or consider sending 1 YouTube super chat per month as a way to pay it forward. As XRP, I'm not willing to say that's just a fake out yet. Let it break back down because we did have a little bit of volume here. So let me say hi to a few people. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of comments. White Lotus, welcome in. Gigantic News, he says. Well, in Euro, it moved 3 cents up since the last, so here it's 57 and 60. Yes, sir, Miev. Alan, welcome in. John Hall, welcome. Kryptonian, thanks for being in Tom's Army for month 1 with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Also making me have a laser tight sniper numbers, making sure I'm on my game, pointing out what I've said, which I appreciate. But it continues to expand because it could go as low as 48, but depending on this uptrend that we continue to hit, it could go as high as 53 now. Like, it continues to expand up, and this is something. I hope this is something. You know, we can be cautiously optimistic, but we'll pay attention to every level here. Vincent, welcome in. Alice Pond, good evening. Yes, total disconnect from Bitcoin price action and wave count. It sure is. It is. People aren't understanding this, but XRP has not made the same frequency as Bitcoin. It hasn't. That's why everybody who's just saying it's guaranteed to go down to 48 or 52, it's not. You have to get that rejection from the formation, because this is exactly why I say don't try to swing trade XRP. If you sold at 64, now what? Or if you sold at 68 for a lower buy, but you never got back in, yeah, 64 is great. But everybody ends up getting greedy. I sold at 68 to buy at 59, but now it's at 59. I'm going to wait for 52. Well, now it's at 52. I'm going to wait for 4. And you never get it right. That's why, as a buyer, when I bought at 346, it wasn't speculative. This is until the next bull market. Great, I could have sold out at 91. Great, I could have sold out at 65 at a 35% capital gains tax. Right now, I'm almost outside of the year. But still, it's nowhere where I want it to be. But now you absorb all that BS. And you save 20%. Imagine I told you get a 20% bonus here. So anyhow, let's continue because there's a lot to talk about. And I think there's a reason to be excited, but be cautiously optimistic, because if this breaks down and ultimately we lose, it's about 605 right now. Technical target still like around 52.5, 53 cents it's suggesting now. Could go as low as a wick to 48 in the area. But as the November of 21 pattern is suggesting, it shouldn't go below that 52, 53 cent area. It really shouldn't as we continue to move forward. So let me continue on. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty lively live. Pretty lively live here. John G, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 years with the XRP 589 badge. Will Rob, welcome in and thanks for being in month 1 with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Welcome in Miev, Brave, GF, Meza, Familian, David, Alessandro, welcome. UK Phil and Mo, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XP Meteor. Good evening, Tom. Hold the line. We may have a pump. Yes, indeed, friend. We're up about 7% in the last probably hour and a half, 2 hours. We've had a nice little push here, and I'm glad that I could spend this with all of my friends here, because nothing makes me happier than to spend this time with each and every one of you. Literally, it's honestly a very important part of my day. So now we're going to look. We're going to look here in the 5-minute. I'm going to keep it on real quick. We're going to keep it on in the 5, because we're going to see in the 5-minute if XRP comes up, and let's just say, because we should have a little bit more consolidation here. We should have a little more consolidation. Like, we're going to come up. I don't want to tap this yet. I would like to see it consolidate down to about 6227 now after this little tug. Get a quick purse back down. And then bring the RSI towards that 50 or 40 area. And then show the bulls regain control in the 5 and slam it back down. That's what I want to see. So, CZAM, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. We'll look at XLM very quickly here as well. Harvey Boy, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Elias, Messi, X-Wing, Crypto Bob, Carrie, welcome in, along with Mark Cast and Rockin' XRP Painter. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the emoji or the XRP Meteor, along with Indigenous 999. Thank you so much to you guys. JM says, Uphold closed my account with over 52,000 in after almost a year because I started moving some like XRP. 40,000 shares off. They gave me no reason. I got an email saying I had 24 hours to my stuff. JM, I don't know what the reason for that is either. I don't know, but I'm telling you, there's always reasons why we should have a bunch of different ways to be able to move our money. But yeah, with Uphold, if you don't, especially if you don't do a KYC, you're screwed. Hopefully, you did it. You've done a KYC, or maybe they're just messing with you now. You know, I don't know the backstory, but that's interesting. Like Familion said, positivity over negativity. Yes, indeed. We bring the love here, not the hate, and we try to bring us all together. You know, that's what we try to do. We try to do it in a very nice way, in a very nice way. Let me just get through this real quick. Trading with Dre Ride, thanks for tuning in and being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 badge. CEO of Greenheart, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. XRP Driver, yes, no fear, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the Meteor. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend, and one of the mods. Mark James, good evening to you, friend. Zool, welcome in. Chris Brunn, the great falling away. Never underestimate the power of FOMO. Exactly. Exactly. XRP the one, welcome in. Pump incoming, he says. I hope so. We are actually set up for one. That's why I said, you know, XRP holders. You know what I said in the title for this update, for this live. Mr. Bams, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. Good evening, my brother. JW, welcome in, and thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. We are almost caught up here, folks, I promise. RDQ, Zool, welcome in. Chip Lucas, listen to all the time. I appreciate that. For Rent, welcome in. Kerry Roach, welcome. Cold wallets only. Yes, I have my XRP on a cold wallet, indeed. Everything is down and XRP just shot up. About to flip green. XRP may have a nice little pump here. And as I said, the next move up, XRP should pump at least 3 times faster than Bitcoin. But don't kid yourselves, folks. If it's going to pump, it's got to come back down here and validate this 5-minute 20-day. I don't care what anybody says. It can come up and down. You know, it can make us feel good right now. But until I see a confirmation bounce on the 20-day here, that's where the technical traders are going to be sitting. They're either going to stack up there in the short time frames. Because look, I mean, it's almost too perfect how this ran out. Because I want it to break out. Like, boom. If this does it like this, I mean, you're talking about a short term finish and put the handle right at the top. I mean, and this is a very small sample size, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for some kind of continuity. Or is this the short term cup puts the handle, then we bounce out. And then we go layer to layer. They sure are, Alejandro. They sure are. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. He says the 5 and 20 are kissing right now. So we looked at that. So let's let that play out now. Somebody says, is there an opportunity with XLM? Well, let's make sure we understand the setup with XRP before the breakout. So honestly, XRP gave a great buying opportunity here. Great buying opportunity. It formed the W reversal on our formation. So some say technical analysis doesn't matter. I say BS. How else did we know the support? And then we actually knew the resistance hit when it first made the rush up. Because we had support line, resistance line from the pattern formation. So at least we know. So now I am convinced that if we're going to break out, you're going to have to hit this 20-day. It has to. 624, 623, 625. It has to. I don't care what anybody says. That's your validation hit. And because it didn't do it, these two are just basically trying to fill out some of the exhaustion here. Exhaustion. Filling part of it out. Fake people in so we can get liquidity. And then if it holds, it taps there. So now we're going to watch this and see what happens. Yeah, to an extent, I guess you're right about that, about the AMM. Right now, it doesn't seem like it has major implications. But with the ISO, don't front run it, brother. You're front running it. The ISO clearly states that it is not going to be fully implemented until mid 2028 when the last financial institution and/or bank has to flip from the old SWIFT framework. Period. Because right now they're able to do a governance of 50% and 50%, which means they can use the old framework by extension until sometime in 28. We don't know the exact date. So if you're ever going to talk about a flip of the switch when it all goes live, that would be the date. The other thing I want to talk about very quickly with crypto, consider this. A lot of people will ask me in the comments, is crypto dead if the dollar dies? Or if physical money goes bye-bye, or currency, not money, but if paper currency goes bye-bye. Quite the contrary. What is already happening with crypto? It's digital. This is the next money. Between this and gold and the digital dollar, whatever they come up with, this is already transcended for the next era. Not just XRP, but crypto that makes it through with transparency and a actual case study, actually some kind of utility. Think about it. I can use XRP right now, never have to put back into the dollar, and I can buy it for things. I can use it now. So I think this is just ready for the next push. That's it. I really do. I believe crypto, whether you're in the ISOs, the IoT, or there's 4 sectors that I think are popular, and we fucked up on 2 of them, and we're not going to continue on one of them. The AI front. How in the hell did everybody let me forget about AGIX? That was one that I told the audience, and the one person who was in here used to tell me about it had left. And that was something I had targeted. Man, that thing's exploded. Anyhow, you've got the AI sector. You've got the ISO sector. You've got the IoT sector, which we've nailed both of those sectors. Now we've got to pay attention to the gaming sector. The gaming meme, the AI section of the gaming, there's going to be a gaming conference. There's an AI conference. It's either today or tomorrow. It's sometime this week. That's why all the AI tokens have been pumping. Well, there's going to be a gaming convention similar to what was going on for the AI tokens happening in about a month and a half. So to me, the gaming tokens have got to be a priority right now. And that's why we're going to go over one of them that I personally actually liking more than I probably should that I've been watching. Like I said, I only put $80 in it so far because we're going to do it together. And we're going to figure out a proper way to do this leading up. We've got a month and a half to do this. And hopefully this is on the first leg of a big consolidation. It's about 40% down from the top from this recent push up, but it could be as high as 60%. So we're gonna go through this very carefully. So, but with as far as XLM goes, can we have a rally? And please make sure to hit that like button if you are watching this so that YouTube recommends this live. We have a lot of people watching right now. I think we could do a lot better with the likes. Just the fact that you're getting all of this information in one place without being charged, and I'm transparent, you should hit that like button and show me your appreciation. And this bounced up. See, remember, equal reaction one way or the other. Whoops. But it bounced up. So we finished that move up here now. But now it's for XLM. Do we have a move coming? Well, is that a gigantic W formed in this formation? Well, forget the 1 day because that's not what told me that we were going to break out in XRP. Even if it was just a momentary breakout. We had a W bottom. We had a reversal bottom. Looks like we have a reversal here too with XLM. It's a little more jank than what XRP was showing us for sure. XRP, well, I guess it's not much more jank. It actually looks pretty similar. But what's not meeting the eye here, oh man, if this breaks up out of here and we hold, my God, it'd be so beautiful, even if it's a rejection at 72. One, two, three, four. Now, this is the thing. Like it's supposed to be 5 death waves, basically 5 downward motions if it's a wave 3 to 4 correction. So then it's speculation. 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up. So is that enough to satisfy wave 3 to 4? I don't know. I don't know. Because you could argue 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up. I mean, you could start to argue the micromanaging or the micro movements within this all the way from 94 cents. So what is really going on here? That's what I want to know, because it's supposed to be 5 steps of pain. 1 step, and we're going to go through this as clear as I can possibly do this. So wave 1, pain. Let's just say for the correction from 3 to 4, there's 5 steps. 1, boom. Does that count? Probably not. So bam. That didn't make a new low there. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how we actually look at this. Because it does definitely continue to cause more pain in each motion. But is this enough? Is that enough? I would love to say yes. I would love to say yes. Right now, though, let's finish our answer with XLM. Absolutely. Is there a buying opportunity here with XLM? You're absolutely right, there is. And by God, if you're leverage trading and trying to take a shot here, because we got 53 minutes until the close here. So, sure as the ground I'm standing on right here, we not typically, if we're going to continue going up, we're going to have a small correction at the flip of the clock. So remember that. That's a 5.2% differential right now. So I'd be very cautious if you're just thinking that it's going to go up just hotty-dotty and we're just going to go. The opportunity to buy this initially for the big spike would have been down here at 12.5. Now, it might not look like as big of a move as XRP, but it was a little bit more beaten down as far as the day was going. So right now is the biggest area to watch of concern, though. Biggest area to watch of concern right now is to see if this is a fake out by XRP or if this is something more. As we said, it needs to come back down in the 5-minute. And that's what we're working on right now, hopefully. We need to see how we react to 62.4, because then everybody's going to say, oh my God, this piece of shit. It comes up and now it's already dead. So, but it's a beautiful time for us all to be together. What is that? Jason Richardson, thanks so much for the $20 donation. It says it's your first YouTube super chat during the lives. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's the first donation of any kind during the live. I can't thank you enough. I really can't thank you enough for that. Now, from a fundamental standpoint, this is actually looking pretty good with what the volume's doing, folks. This is actually doing pretty good with the volume on this push up. Volume predicts price, right? Push up, rise in price. Now we're correcting and hopefully it keeps going down. As it's doing that, we can see the volumes crashing. If we get a quick wick and it holds, we very well could be pushing up here. Let the volume keep dumping, but let the price continue to correct as that volume crashes. That's an indicator of a bullish reversal. If that keeps playing out like that. Very small time frame, though. Very small time frame, and I acknowledge that. But that's all we have to work with right now. The fact that it's using this pattern formation correctly, and we identified it correctly, this is how you know if your technical analysis is working. We identified this, and this was up here yesterday. Remember, I even turned it into the green from 2 nights ago, so it'd be easier to see on the uptrending support area. That's how you know the analysis is right. It's bouncing off of it. It's going resistant. Well, support, resistance, back down to support, support, resistance. Although I did miss one because it went support, resistance, consolidate down, resistance 2, support 3, support 4, back up to resistance 3. We know the pattern. Confirm the pattern. Now, if you break out of this pattern, honestly, my target is not high enough. You all know this. Mine's the small target. But now that we consolidated all the way down, and we can put an accurate breakout target. This is not a joke either. You've got the first here from the smaller part of this pattern formation, but you've also got a wider attempt here. See, this is all lining up for that push up to 82 cents. If it breaks out of here, you have a real chance of coming up there to 82 cents, but it's conditional. You have to break above 72.20, and then you would have all eyes on that area. So, trading with J-Ride, thank you so much for the $10 donation. What was that game token? We're going to get into that, friend. We're going to get into this. Oh, what did I do? Not keep it on here again? I'll bring it up in a sec. I'll bring it up in a sec. But now let's look at Bitcoin real quickly before I lose focus, because I want to make sure that we understand the fundamental setup. But we'll go into yes, exactly, Lumen. I agree with you. Spot, spot, spot. It has to be spot. Because leverage, everybody's going and getting murdered. They're getting murdered in leverage. Whether you're going long or short, I'm telling you, it doesn't even matter if it's a 10x. Look how quick XRP, if you were in a 10x short, look how quick this could have went up on you. I love this. I love what we're building here. And I'm not going to hide from the price action. I love I like it. When it goes down, it makes me happy because then we can see the true consolidation and we can see if we've got any testicular fortitude to get out of here. So, but I look at this on Binance because it's got a longer history on the chart. This is WAXP. We can get into a little bit of the fundamentals here in a minute, but this is one that I am very highly targeting for this next gaming run. I've been looking at it for a few days. I couldn't bring it to the attention of everybody when it's at 10 cents because I missed the talk back here. I even missed doing what I wanted. So I seen it come up here, seen the correction. Now I figured it's time to at least talk about it. But we can see there's going to be a rally at some point with this. It's coming back up. I'm hoping it gets rejected here. And then it plays that level back into consolidation. But it is starting to build some kind of formation here. So, and like I said, I only put, what was it, $90. I said 80. It was $90. But it's right where, it's basically where it's at. It was when it did this. And it was at 6, 7. It wasn't even on this rotation. I seen it do this. And when it came back down here and hit this uptrend, where was it at? 7.3, it came around. I want to say, no, it was back here because it came through. Oh, it was right here. It bounced down and then it came up. Then it came down right here and it started this uptrend. Okay. So the uptrend started here. Didn't get it at 6.3. It was when it was back up like at 6.8 on this wick. Somewhere before it pulled this wick. But it was somewhere around 6.8, which is nothing because it's barely anything. But I'm waiting to see how I'm going to exactly approach this accumulation because I needed to see further evidence of another bounce. I couldn't go all right here. It couldn't happen. I had to see if this uptrend was going to hold. I had to see what the formation was, and now we know. Now I at least know. I have a steady ground right here. I have a steady ground. Just like with XRP, it gives you evidence of what's coming. You just have to wait. We have to see for the rotation to fill out. So right now, I'm thinking something like this. And it, unlike some of the gaming tokens, it hasn't had that massive, massive accumulated move yet. It hasn't. You can see this beautiful W reversal. It's just the early stage of this reversal still. It's so early in this stage right now. Even from the very bottom, it was up when it hit the very top at 176%. It's pulled back. I think it was at like 7.4 earlier, but now it's at 7.8. Even from the very bottom, it's like 114%. And that's from the very bottom. So this token's got an interesting it's got an interesting dynamic. Nope. I actually had to use MEXC to buy this one. I had to use MEXC to buy this one, as I'm already a holder on MEXC. So even though they don't allow new USA users, so in the video description below and our pinned comments, if you have the ability, I have bought it on MEXC. But like I said, this is the starting point. Now that I have an uptrend, I have to figure out exactly how much per day I'm gonna do. But make no mistake, this could explosive back to the top side as well. But I just believe that this is one of those gaming tokens that we're going to have to pay attention to. So that's one that we'll continue to talk about as the days to come. But don't be surprised if I come on here every day and say I'm picking up like $50 a day for the next month or two. You know, and maybe $25 a day. Because I don't care about the price right now. It came down 40%. Now I care about even if it goes 40 to 50% down back to accumulate. I'm going to buy it every step down at the exact same amount per day. Just like our same logic when we were doing with H-bar and some of the other ones. Except this is already on the fly. And this is because the gaming season is coming. And like we said with XLM, it definitely could have been an opportunity there. You just have to weigh your risk. But it was definitely behind. And now if we can pass this resistance at about 13.4 cents, we got something going here. We could very well have something going here. And like with XRP, it's exactly what we talk about all the time. Now, nothing's happened yet, though. We already have our evidence in front of us. 647. 647. 647, break and hold. Break and hold. Come on, baby. 647, break and hold. If you think we're going to break and hold this, hit that like button. We've got 186 likes. Hit that like button if you think we're going to break this right now. If you think we're going to break this and XRP is going to do the unthinkable here and push when the market's dumping, like we always say, don't give up on XRP because it's always the last to do its thing. Yes, just because it broke, it hasn't signaled, though. A breach is not what we're looking for. We're not looking for just a breach. So what I'm looking for here before we signal and confirm it is you break up to about, what is that, 67, probably 67, no, 65.5 maybe, 65 to 67. Then you have a volatile swing and you hold the 645 as support, then you push up. This is what we're looking for right now. This is what we're looking for. Yes, indeed, Alessandro. We've just got to make sure that we're not letting our emotions speak for us. But we do absolutely have a breakout happening right now. XLM right now just popped by about 1.4%. As we just said, there could be an opportunity there. So just be aware of what's happening here. That was something we covered for a reason. 65 now, let's go. Up 5% now all of a sudden here on the day. And, you know, I don't, a lot of times my titles, they're a hint at what's to come. I know the new viewers probably have a hard time with it still because, you know, I don't try to make it difficult, but what I do is kind of like, it's kind of like putting a puzzle in. You kind of have to go through a puzzle. And if you watch every single day, you can kind of put the pieces together. These lives are integral. I even said, XRP holders, is a price surge coming? Question mark. XRP must hold 60.3 cents. That's it. That was the conditions. Even if you didn't watch the live, you would know. There's something to watch. Tom's saying to watch out for a price surge. You're getting a price surge. Yesterday, I talked about the consolidation. We got the consolidation. I said, don't be too fooled by this today. We still got to come back down and confirm the 603. We even came a little bit lower. We're on the right track. What do you mean break? We need to break and hold. So I don't really care what the candle looks like so much. I need to see a break out of this structure with a little bit of volume. But we need a break out of this structure that we've been in since we hit the 94-cent high back in March of 2000, or the 72-cent high or 75 back in March of 2000, March of this year, just a few weeks ago. But we need now to break out of this formation. So what I'm looking for is a push over. Obviously, the engulfing candle right now is beautiful. It's beautiful, but now we're going to look for a close and a hold over that previous candle at worst because we want to make a higher high. I mean, a higher low. So we want to make a higher low at the start of the candle. So if the next candle low is above the last candle high, we're in the right track. Don't be so tied to Bitcoin on this move. Just a fair warning to everybody. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. This next move for XRP is not going to be as merely tied to Bitcoin. Some of the money's actually going to come from Bitcoin's the consolidation. Remember that. That's why XRP is the ultimate stable coin right now. The big wigs, the whales, and everybody who's involved with the manipulation, they can manipulate other tokens. And then you might see a big come down with Bitcoin and Solana, and they'll start dumping in those profits into something like XRP. So what I'm saying here with the push up, in order to validate this, let me get this out of the way. In order to validate that wick's great. It's great. You know, this is all great. But we're going to become very oversold here in the 5 and the shorter time frames. So what I'm saying is I want to see this. And we're not talking about EMA lines. We're not talking about any of this stuff right now. From a pure positional standpoint, understanding the formation that's been set, the support, the resistance, the downward tug if it does break down. I want to see it break off of support like it has. It formed a nice bottom like we've seen. Now I want to see it break up. I don't care if it goes to 67, 65, 72. I don't care what it does. I want to see a back test here. And when I see it, I want to see the volume crashing in the shorter time frames and then an explosive surge in volume in that same time frame as it explodes out of here. That would let me know that we're targeting 72 first layer. We get above that, we have the extension at 75. But right now, I would expect if it's going to have a volatile swing, we come up to that 67, 66.6 rising channel resistance. Then it would come back and try to tap that. So that's what I'm looking for when I say a volatile swing. But also, I want this candle because you see where we opened here. It didn't do what I wanted. So this already could speak of a consolidatory candle. It absolutely didn't do what I wanted. I wanted it to break up instead of using this as resistance. So hopefully we can still do that. But if not, we know the 5-minute consolidation. Actually, that 5 minutes not over. That was the 3-minute. Okay, good. Good. Okay, we're still up and running, folks. I want to see this 5-minute candle close over 65.1 cents. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. This isn't enough volume. Well, let's take a look. I'm not sure what you're watching, my friend, but that's absolutely enough volume. What do you mean? Look at the 5-minute volume. You got to break it into the fundamental settings because we don't have evidence of a 4-hour candle yet. What do you mean it's not enough volume? 700,000, 400,000, 1 million, 1.2 million, 400,000. These are your consolidation candles right here. Dump down candle right here, 3.6, 3.3, 1.3, 2.6. Biggest one at 3.6. I don't know, friend. Look when it started. 3.3, 3.0, 5.1, 4.7, 9.5. Now we're consolidating 8.5. Back down for the consolidation candles. All the way down to 2.8. Back up now. Back up. We ended up having 9.8. And now we need to see. It's enough for this. It's enough for almost 300 viewers. No, there is there really? Man, you guys and gals, if you really do respect what I do, please hit that like button. So many people have not hit that like button so far. Over 84 people. I'd greatly appreciate that. It helps YouTube recommend my content. Especially this live. If you want more people to see the truth and not have to rely on some FUD, send them my way. Send them my way. I got told by everybody to watch some other stations, and this move was not accounted for in those stations. It was accounted for in ours. A lot of those other stations said they sold out and they're buying back when it gets down to the next wave. You know how asinine that is in this stage? Especially with something like XRP that is very unpredictable when it's going to have that move. It's a good way to get your audience. If I had told you to sell at 66 and then wait until 52, it's a good way to get your audience to miss out on these quick pumps. If you're buying the accumulation phase, don't try to be fancy. A lot of you know I read the charts better than most. And that's why you guys and gals are in here and finding your way to come back each and every day. Especially when something's happening, more and more people are finding this a place to trust. Because when it's going down, I tell the truth. I front run it. When it's going up, I tell the truth. With this move, I told the truth. As long as we held 603 and confirmed that support, we had a rally to come, a sneaky rally. I even put in the live yesterday and talked about it. But I told everybody, don't be surprised for the first dump. And I even showed the example. Don't go long here. And it was at 62.4 on leverage because I said, what happens with that wick when it clear that candle when it clears it out back down to the 606 or 604 or 598 or whatever it does to shake out the longs. Then it also shakes the short out last night. And now look at this, the long with that position. Even if you got in at 625 was great, but you got liquidated on the push back down overnight and early this morning. I believe the leverage trading deep down is all a fucking scam. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made, and I've made a lot of money over the, trust me. I've also lost money, but I've made far more than I've lost. But especially for the new trader that goes right into leverage trading without buying spot positions, I believe it's a scam. I don't even think it should be offered to you unless you have $5,000 in spot. Or at least if you're going to use leverage, I believe you should at least have to have 4 times the amount in spot. than what you're allowed to use in leverage. I really do. I really do, because I think a lot of people trade their positions in hopes to buy the leverage, and then they lose on the leverage trade, even if they have a stop loss, and everybody, oh, I'll just put a stop loss. And okay, that's fine. Let's say you're working with $1,000 and you got the great stop loss. It goes down 13% in real value, but you put a stop loss down on a 10x trade at 2.4%. So you're feeling great. 24%, you're out though. Wait a minute, that's $240 on a $1,000 trade. Congratulations, you didn't get suckered in and get liquidated, but you just lost 200 and something dollars that could have been in the spot. So do that over time. Nobody, and I mean nobody, over the long haul does not end up in the negative at some point. Because the more you make, the more you end up taking out. I'm telling you, this is from personal experience. It's also from talking to many, many people over the years now. But let's say you start with 100. You build it into 2. Then you build it into 5. Then you build it into 1,000. The philosophy in the head is you keep putting that same collateral up with the same philosophy. Well, one of these times when you do that, you get a quick liquidity candle. And the stop loss doesn't hold. Goodbye, all that work's gone in one fair swoop, and it could have took 6 minutes. In this case with XRP, it took about 14 minutes just now, and you had somebody who was up about 60% on a 10x trade essentially get wiped. Think about that before you leverage trade. I'm not saying it's not a great utility to use in the right moment, but to build a portfolio and to build advancement in this space, I would never push leverage trading on anybody, ever. Because it's no different than going to the casino. This is what we wanted to see now. We want to see this push to at least, now I'm getting excited. We want to see this push to retest. Let's see. And I'm very transparent, so I don't have to worry about saying things that I don't mean, because I mean everything I say. So I can be very transparent, because I don't have to worry about getting caught up with something I've said 3 years ago, because I'm speaking fact, truth. My integrity is everything I've got, and I treat it very, very high. I'm very, very into integrity, as you all know. So now we're coming up to this resistance. 672. 672 is this big area to break out of. But now look, we've gone past the very key area of where? We talked about it yesterday. Remember in the live? We talked about it this morning in the update. If you come back up here, your first key test is to get back over this handle formation resistance. Over it. Next big test now is to get up and at least break 67.2 cents in the process. But we had the volatile spike to 655. Now remember, this was key. I know it looks bad because it's coming down, but remember what I said. We want to have a little bit of a breakover so that if we back test this, we have at least some kind of validity. It still might not even have been enough, to be honest. That's a reversal candle, though, in the daily, folks. And not just any reversal candle. That's almost pulled its way back into a dragonfly on the back end of this day today. This is incredible. This is incredible. Miss Vicky, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 5 months. Along with Joshua with the XRP Predictor. Thank you so much, love, for being in here. Steven says, I've lost more than I've made on leveraging. Grabbed a 30x at 200 at 596. Thank God. Close and reopen. Exactly. See? That's what I mean. You close it, now you probably reopen it for the amount you've made plus. Jason says, favorite channel on YouTube. I appreciate that. And Miss Vicky, thank you so much for continuing to tune in, even when it's very hard to get in here, I know, because you're on the other side of the world, along with Tanya. And thank you, Tanya, for being over in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And we will look at H-Bar, Tanya. Both of you, thank you for the dedication and commitment that you've been in here for so long now. I take great pride in our female audience, and I say this all the time. It's because on YouTube, the average for what we do in this space is about 3 to 5% at most. It's usually about 2 to 3% on the higher average. Our female audience in here is well above the average. Even now, we push better than 10% of my overall audience, with almost 21,000 subscribers is of the female variety. And this is not female-oriented field. So that just shows the females and the women are coming to a fundamental understanding that they can do it too. They can do it too. And if we're all in this together, We all don't have defined roles. When I'm at home, I cook, I clean, I do the dishes, I vacuum, I do all the shit. I take care of the kids. But I do all the dirty work. I take out the garbage. I do the grass. I do the outdoor work. That's what I don't want Julie to do. But she also does the dishes, cooks and cleans, and does all that stuff. We're not meant to have defined roles. We are, but we aren't. We are, but we aren't. Big key teller here, too, is the XRP Bitcoin pairing, as we talked about yesterday, was getting ready for a breakout. We said if anything's pointing to us that we're going to have a breakout with XRP compared to Bitcoin, it was this. It was the pairing. Something that I incorporated here not too long ago. Janet, thank you so much. Says she loves my style. See, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Can you please talk about it going to 51 cents today? What do you mean? Why would it go to 51 cents? We didn't break down. If you're talking about my video from this morning, watch the whole video. Or if you didn't and you're just asking in general, we had to get the validation from earlier. We had to lose 603. We talked about this in the morning video. We talked about it yesterday. As long as you didn't get confirmation at 603 and break down, we were very bullish still. We've talked about this over and over. Volume crashing. Price coming to support. Never got a retest and rejection. The only way to fall 12.5% is if you got rejected. I even put it in the title this morning. It's contingent upon a rejection. Otherwise, you have a volatile swing back up. Period. So, yeah, Floyd, see, now you're gaslighting me. I don't appreciate it. I'm not going to respond to you again if you're not going to actually pay attention to what I just told you. It was conditional. Everybody who watches my content knows. This was set up here. And if we got a rejection there, the technical target was a 12.5% drop. If we held this, we have a technical move up if we break out anywhere from 72 all the way back up to 82 cents. You're going to have to watch the whole 26-minute video in order to make a comment because I covered every single thing of this in the video, period. I'm moving on. So you should know, if we were able to hold, we could add a volatile swing out of here. And look at the volume. The volume's breaking out to the green. Everything we wanted to happen, if we wanted to hold, is happening.
RSI's on Viagra.
The RSI, as one said, is on Viagra. It is. You see, it's definitely, it went from in speaking terms, it's gone from a sense of, it was limp. Okay, it was limp. As the person said, some Viagra got popped and look, XRP became elongated, let's say. So now we've completely reversed our fortunes here. We bounced off that key support. Now what I was saying, if you want to talk about that same move, about if it could drop, if this is a fake out now, your next area is probably going to be somewhere over here. And then if you get rejected here, that same drop is still in play, except it would now come to 53.6. But if you break to the top side, which has always been up here as well, the first move is up to 72.20 if we do this properly. There's still resistance in front of that, still 67 cents, which is the rising channel resistance that we've not been able to break out from. It double bottom on the 200 simple moving average on the 4-hourly. You're right. You're absolutely right. Everything is lining up for a reversal right now. The 200-day here with the MA lines, beautiful. Everything bounced perfectly. Now we need to see if we have continuation. In the daily time frame, it's suggesting straight up. Straight up in the RSI and the 4-hourly. I mean, if I'm seeing this right, beautiful candle. Beautiful candle. Yeah, oh yeah, 66 cents. It has to get past, hopefully. We're pushing up to this here. This is how we knew where it was going to run up to real quick. Once you got past 633, now your next move is up here to 67.2 cents. That is the rising channel resistance from June of 2022. And obviously we're going to focus on XRP during this live. I'm not going to be bouncing around to a bunch of different tokens this evening like I normally do. And be appreciative because I do put in a lot of work. But sometimes I need to stay focused on XRP. We have 346 people in here. Almost a new record. The most we've ever had was 368. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live and we continue to expand on the viewers and we continue to lead this and get out in front of it. So we're looking very good right now. If you think XRP is going to break out here and push 66 cents, or even after confirming the back test, do you think XRP is going to break out? We have 295 likes, 350 people watching. Hit that like button if you think so. If you've already hit the like button, you don't have to do anything. I would just like to see. But right now, we're coming up very hard. I love this. I love this. So everybody, again, I get shared the same stuff every day, and I say, please save it. I know you guys like watching some of the other influencers and stuff, but I don't. Only because it skews what I'm doing. I got sent a bunch of stuff from one in particular who does the Elliott waves, and they said they sold out because they're going to buy back at 52 cents. Even though I said this could have already completed wave 3 to 4. We had enough volatility, and I was trying to show it when we first started yesterday, trying to show it. But if it was an expanded breakdown, we had to get the confirmation. That's why I'm not willing to sell when we're in an accumulation phase. I'm just going to let it rally like it should. Now, everybody who sold out, and you can go back to the videos. And I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll give you the initials of CK. They may have a coin in their name. Some could call him a kid. I get shared this every single day. Light Switch Tom, thank you for the $5 donation. I greatly appreciate that, along with being in Tom's army as well. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. So, I actually do know crypto with Klaus. Not bad. Nothing bad to say. Nothing bad to say. Go take a look. You'll know what I'm talking about. I got bombarded about it. And I said, you can't just sell to buy it back at the bottom because technically the wave could have already ended when it tapped. It could have. 74 to 58. So, but anyhow, by no means does this mean we're out of the woods yet, though, folks. I don't want you to think that anything's changed yet. Okay? Because we're not out of the woods until XRP officially bounces off and finishes out this technical move. Now that we broke out, first layer, well, we're not even going to do first layer. I have the pivot point there that we would have to break. But the technical move, what did I just do here? It was 72 something. But this, if it breaks out, and this is the breakout area, if that's where it happens, we already know we're coming back up to somehow that pattern resistance. And we've said this pattern's called it all. And if we had a correction, it even said the worst we should hope for on a breakdown would be down here to this uptrend again. So we've already hit it a couple times back here, every time we went up. So now unless we can break out of here, you could still watch that area. But for now, we're having an attempt here to try to rectify this. We're having a beautiful reversal in the daily. The volume is coming up. See how the volume was crashing on the way down? Bam. Daily time frame here, we had 407 million. Here we had 257. Here, 209. Volume crashing while the price is crashing is a condition for a bullish reversal. You need two things to happen. A burst of volume and a hold. You have to have a hold at a bottom somewhere. So now we started to reverse, and now the first sign of pushing back up, we exploded to 400 million. Literally doubling what we had yesterday on that volatile swing, along with the previous 2 days. We've gonna more than match that 407 million by the end of this, or close to it. We've completely reversed the narrative here. We have completely broken the narrative. And now it's going to very much define on that next daily candle. And I'm very excited to be here with everybody. And we're not going nowhere right now. We are not going anywhere till 8 o'clock. I can promise you that. Even at 8 o'clock, we're not going nowhere. This is, and if you're looking in the video description below or pinned comments, look at BITUNIX. Go test it out on the high times of volatility and go see for yourself how it stays up no matter what. Go see the difference in the spot fees and the leverage trading fees on that site, especially spot. It's in the pinned comments for a reason. Take advantage of it. I try to warn everybody, get some money on the exchange so you can take advantage of some of these moments. If you're not in XRP, take advantage of some of the moments. A gift would have been done, big gift, rejected here. Nothing's changed yet. This pattern could still come back down. This could be our overzealous push up. Remember what I said wanted to happen? I wanted it to come up to like that 66.6, 67.2, wherever it decides to hold, because in the 15, we're way overextended. So what I know is going to happen here, and I think we all do, because we're going to be way overextended, is if it does come up here, let's just say it hits 67, 66.6, we're going to have to come back down here. So what I theorize is probably going to happen is at the flip of the clock, let's just say we end up somewhere up here. Let's say we're at 666. At the flip of the clock, we're going to see a quick 2 to 3% reversal, depending on where it stops. Hopefully I'm wrong that it even has to do that, but technically you have to retest this area. How are we going to validate this move from a breakout, from a long, well, it's not long term, but the entirety of this formation, you always back test. Now, the one way to not have to back test this setup is to just blow past this setup. Not that one, but to blow past this one. If we don't want to back test where I'm talking about, we've got to get past 673. Well, we got up to 668. Remember I said between 666 and 672 is what I was looking for. We've already met what I was looking for now, but now we came all the way up here. I would like it to hit 67.3, but it didn't. It came up to 66.6 as of right now. We're doing our quick consolidation. But let me ask you a question. With everybody who says you can't, you have to watch. Remember this, everybody. What does everybody always tell me every day? What's the point of watching XRP's technical analysis if it does what Bitcoin does all the time? That comes from an amateur of an XRP. You all know as well as I do when XRP makes its move, it doesn't give a rat's ass what Bitcoin does, period. Look at Bitcoin struggling down 0.75% today. Spree's not struggling. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you have to look at the individual chart. If you're just looking at Bitcoin, there's no reason. We're outperforming Bitcoin by a ton right now. But now, don't be surprised if we get that back test. We need that volatility. Either way, we need volatility, but we're becoming a little overextended in the 15, and it would be a perfect time to back test. Now, it's very possible that it says, the hell with this, we're going up to 72 first, but we would have to break 67.3 and then push up. So, but yeah, this is exactly, it did see why I said I was happy on that last push, because at least now we came up to that 669 range. Actually, it's perfectly in between that 666 and 673, isn't it? It's exactly what we want to do. I'm going to grab my water. It's already been an hour and 7 minutes. I'm not going nowhere. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you appreciate my work, consider sending a YouTube super chat, especially when we have an explosive moment. Or maybe this is the time where you join Tom's army and you're like, man, this guy really does know what he's talking about. He doesn't buy into everybody else's agenda. He doesn't care what everybody else says in the technicals. And he's not going to make us overzealously think we're even broken out yet. He's telling us to be cautious because this could be a fake out still. Let's let this do what it needs to do. Yes, we just hit a new record on viewers. I've never been over 369 viewers in a live. So we've hit a new record. So thank you to the 385 viewers. I greatly appreciate it. If you could hit that like button so YouTube recommends this, maybe it could help us hit 400 with the algorithm, but I firmly believe this channel will explode even more than it already has once we get into a real bull market. No one's going to give you the information like I do, and nobody's going to be here as often as I am, no matter if it's up, down, left, or right, because I don't care. You can't humiliate me. I can't humiliate myself. I'm very humble, but I have to be transparent. I'm very, 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 very dedicated to the cause. So that's why I come here 7 days a week. No matter what's going on in my personal life. I'm here when I first wake up, no matter if I'm a grouch, if I'm in a good, bad, indifferent. Even when I break my arms and fingers like last summer, I'm still here as if nothing's happened, even though it hurt. And it's still kind of messed up a little bit. But I'm still here. You know, that's the thing. We're here together because I need to make sure we're here for the ebb and flows. But let's see what happens here. We got an explosive move here to end this day. I know this changes a lot of feelings within the community right now. Oh, it is true because it's almost been a year, Julie. Oh, and for anybody who doesn't know, my 1 year anniversary is coming up. And my statement that I just made is true. because I started on March 30th of 2021. I've never missed a single day on YouTube. Put that in perspective. I haven't had a day off. How many days was it, Julie, we figured out? It's up over 1,000. We're getting up to like 1,150 days without a day off. So when you want to know what it takes to put into this, look at your favorite YouTubers you watch and ask yourself why they're not here every day. It takes a lot out of you mentally, emotionally. But because I know what I'm doing and I have a plan, it doesn't bother me. I actually like being here. If I don't do this, it's like a drug. For me, this is my drug of choice now. This is my adrenaline. Now, I don't want to say we decoupled yet, though, because, you know, this is just a very small move. But this is a move if we can start playing opposite of Bitcoin now. It would be very beneficial. Another engulfing candle here in the smaller time. In the 30-minute, 45-minute, that's a beautifully engulfing candle. 1 hour, beautifully engulfing. 2 hour, wow, that's a nice breakout candle. Now you're looking for this to hold at least 645. I'm going to be honest. If we break and hold, which you already broke, but if we hold 645 on the close in 13 minutes, and it's going to be I know it went up, but this is going to be a photo finish here. I know it seems like it's just going to go right past 67 and it can't be stopped. Did I not tell everybody not to over analyze right now? Don't get too excited. I know the conditions of what needs to happen. And then some people say, well, why don't you just leverage trade it? Because then I'm going to look in one direction or the other biasly, because if I'm taking a long, I'm going to look for every reason for it to go up. If I'm in a short, I'm going to look for every reason for it to go down, but I'm always going to miss the obvious. So, did you see that, Julie? This ice just like exploded. I love it. Somebody said I was so sure it could go down. Don't you love the FUD that happens? Floyd's been doing this the whole time. But for anybody who actually knows, you know that the technical target was 48 to 52, but actually at 51.6 or whatever, 51.3. But that was conditional if we broke down from the formation, and that was a breakdown target. In no way was that my prediction. See, Floyd is in here gaslighting, which I don't care if he does, but it's very detrimental to the new viewers who don't know what's going on. You know, it's actually a kick in the nuts, you know, to put in as much time as I put in and the effort that I put in, and then you get scumbags in the comments that try to misrepresent what you do. It's not a cool thing, you know. Not saying Floyd's a scumbag, but, you know, do as you do and say as you say and be represented as you are. Bring integrity into here. I don't know. Floyd, you should feel like you got kicked in the nuts because you're not paying attention, sir. Last time I'm going to respond to you. Again, you're playing the victim in the comments when you had all the evidence in front of you. All of it. Take it upon yourself to make a decision. So, maybe you deserve that feeling of the kick in the nuts. You know, and maybe it's a reality check. Maybe you shouldn't trust a YouTuber even if I do give good advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so what in the hell do I actually know? I say this every day. Stand on your own 2 feet, and then you can start building a portfolio properly, Floyd. You know, yesterday somebody was asking me to tell them when to buy, and I said I would not suggest buying today because what happens when it goes down and you buy it right now, and it's down 6 to 10%, and then it just reverses back up tomorrow, and it's higher than when we started. So anyhow, continuing on. Oh, Floyd, I'm relaxed, friend. You should watch my videos from 21. You can see what unrelaxed Tom looks like. You're lucky it's not 21. If you think I'm not relaxed, anybody who's been here since 21, they definitely know. But we're moving on. I ain't got time for Floyd anymore. Kind of like Floyd Mayweather out here, looking for all the attention with little bit of bang. So here we go. No more distractions. That's all I wanted to say my piece for the new viewers so that you understand what's actually going on. Because that could absolutely play out if this is a fake out. Except now it would come farther in the pattern. But this was if we could hold this, we could break out parabolically. It's so funny though, because we've talked about it immensely. I come here every single day, so we can keep talking about what's to come here. Because right now we're getting into this overbought area at 85. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this rally's over. It just means that we need to get this confirmation. See how it's coming back now? I said it would be a photo finish at 8. We got up to 66.9, right in between the 666 and 673. Now we need to get a hold here at it's about 645. A hold at 645, and then we can try to push out. If we break back in, this is nothing more than a fake out, especially if it closes in here in the next 9 minutes. The daily candle wouldn't even have broke out. So I want to see a breakout in the daily, close over the 645, and then ultimately start pushing up. Otherwise, if it breaks back in here, we very well could push back into this formation. And then obviously we know the drill. We know the drill. So, but that's how it's layered. You do with it what you want. You can either play the victim in the comments or you can play the winner, just like I can play the victim or the winner when I come here each and every day. I can act like I'm being cheated. I can act like somebody's, XRP's manipulated or, all this stuff is happening and that's why I can't succeed. Or I can understand it's all on me, just like it's all on each and every one of you to do your part. And we can start making the right decisions. Whether it goes down to 51 or not, I really don't care. I'm doing the ebb and flows because I'm in spot. That's just an opportunity down there if that happens. That's the opportunity. The opportunity also is right here if it double bottomed. And then if it breaks out, who knows? This could be your last opportunity down here for a while. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Who's to say? There's two things that could happen here. One, this is going to play out properly and it's going to start pushing up and then we're going to start flagging real big here. And then we're going to say, well, how? Remember what I said? I've even shown this exact area. If this played out just like this and broke out, and I would say, and now everybody's going to say, well, how didn't we see that W reversal happening, that bullish Gartley with the flag? I said this yesterday, if it were to bounce off of there. And I said it could be the inverted head and shoulders pattern. But if it's not and it busts, we know the technical target down. And I'm always going to show the down target along with the up target because if it breaks down or breaks up, I can't be here 24 hours a day. But you got to take it upon yourself not to play the victim. I guess Floyd's the new Lewis. So now we're just trying to hold this. Remember I said though it was going to be a photo finish when it was up at 66 plus. Said it'd be a photo finish at this line. Because I said I'm not going to lead you in a misdirection. So hey, we went over 400 viewers for the first time ever on the program. I thank each and every one of you for that. I really do. I really do. So thank you so much. So, and if you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we were only 54 subscribers away when this live started from hitting 21,000. So, you're welcome, Aiden. I'm sorry about the comments that I can't possibly keep up. There's so many comments. Donald, we do know extra people will eventually pass all-time highs this year. We don't know that. We don't know. Okay, friends. Another honest point if you're new. You see my hair? I told everybody I would not cut my hair last July. It's been almost 9 months until XRP hit $1. So, or my goatee. So if I look like a grizzly bear or Grizzly Adams, that's why. So to think we're just going to go to all-time highs when my hair continues to grow at this rate, let's break $1 first. Let's break $1 first, and then we start moving up. So somebody said, yeah, we peak, I reckon. How am I supposed to read the charts without drawing support and resistance line, Lewis? Exactly. Jordan, you said it exactly how I said it, too, back in the day. That's why I said, could you imagine the fun we'd have with Floyd right now if I was still a dick, so to say? But yeah, XRP should absolutely be closer to $2. Here's what my personal observation is. Even with what Bitcoin's done, in my personal estimations, and let me bring it into a higher time frame, I believe XRP, and I've said this many times, and I think this is what we're ultimately working on right now. We're just in the shorter cup. See the cup? The handle? See how it's a two-tier cup? It's not that it's a two-tier. It's just this part is the consolidation. If you're within here, it always tells you 51 cents is a chance. Maybe a little bit lower. If you're above it, it always tells you got a chance to break out ultimately to re-break 73 and then make a run up at 94. So while we're in this little handle, let's pay attention to that as well. We're trying to get out of it. But this isn't what I'm talking about. What if this smaller cup, and we already have the evidence of Bitcoin having a 3-year cup, and now it's forming the handle, and it did, and it broke out now, and now it's trying to form another extensive handle. But Bitcoin took from April of 2021 until March of 2024 to complete its cup. Ready? Ready? This is a short-term one. $1.38, swinging around. What if that's the initial cup that we're actually working on after we break out of this area? Because we dropped back up, formed the actual cup. We formed a smaller cup within it, but that means we should be targeting that $1, and I have it up there. It's there for a reason. That's the cup resistance in gray. I put it in gray to make it a little bit tricky, so it wouldn't cover my patterns. But that is at $1.38. Now, what I'm speculating is that is not the end game here. I think the end game would be it's a 3-tier cup to get up. So we have 1. We're putting this bullish handle. Check. Next level would be 2, right? Bullish handle. But then ultimately, I think what we're doing, we swung around, came down, pushed up, pulled down. I think we're working on a cup from 2021. I ultimately think we're trying to create a cup like this from 2021. Maybe the bullish handle comes down like this, ultimately. And then that's how we catch up to Bitcoin for the cycle. Because back when it had all-time highs in 21, we only went to $1.98. But that would be the overall move. We've got so much stuff in between to where we can't even focus on that right now. You can't. No matter if I want to be optimistic, I can't focus on that exact narrative yet. For one reason. We have to get through the 77-month consolidation right here. Until we break 77-month consolidation, all of that is moot. It's all moot. The fact we held the 200-day and the 4-hourly is huge. That confirms the pattern is not yet broken. The fact that the weekly time frame, as I said yesterday, we were bouncing off of the 20-day last week, and we didn't give way. This golden cross has not given way by a long shot. We've already had 2 other instances of a golden cross before this third one. And each time they drop by at least 60%. This one only dropped by about 52%. But each of the first 2 occurrences, we had a several 100% rally. If not more. One was like 300 to 400. This one we haven't even hit 100. Not even close. Maybe 40% right now. So to think this rally is done, it's not by a long shot, but to understand that it could consolidate. And if you look at the all-time pattern in perspective, that means with the all-time pattern right now, you theoretically could come all the way down here to the 38-cent area if it went south. And then you would have to hold that to confirm that we still have enough strength to push. But right now, we got 1 minute here until the daily close. And as of right now, we're above 64.7. We're above 64.7. And the significance of this is when this next daily candle closes, it's going to be a engulfing candle to the top side. And it's going to be, oh, wait a minute. It's not going to be over where I want. I want it to be over 6.5. So we're still in the pattern. We're still very much in the pattern. We kind of did a disservice to ourselves on this daily close. You'll see what I mean in about a minute. We could have rectified this pattern. We have not. Now we just came up to resistance. We just came up to resistance. This is going to be interesting now. This is going to be interesting. Tom is a gem. Thank you. What's your thoughts on silver? Ooh, we can get into silver in a minute. XRP Broska, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. We'll look at... It's not that it's a bad candle. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad candle. I was just hoping... Actually, it's not bad, though, because it did close over that 645. So at least... I think it did. It closed over that area we talked about. It's just it didn't stay over the 65 or anything like that. But it actually did close over 635, which is interesting. All right, let's get to the right chart here. I mean, if you're looking at it from a logical standpoint, did it not come exactly what I said it needed to do? If it was going to, you know, it has to confirm one way or the other. We're good right now. It just, the only way we're not good is if this created a head and shoulders, and we'll find out right now. Ready? 5 minute. Boom, boom. If this gets a rejection and comes through as a head and shoulders in the 5, then you'd come back to 633, which is important because then that's the next. Ready? So this is why if it comes through here, then, and not saying this is going to happen, not saying this is going to happen, Floyd. So don't misrepresent what I'm going to say here. But if it doesn't go up first, then it could absolutely come down here even if it's bullish, and retest the breakout of that first tier handle. This is in the expansion zone. So then you could touch 635. So we got to see what's happening here. Otherwise, we have to see if this is forming a head and shoulders, a top and reversal, anything like that. So we got a lot of stuff happening here. We have a lot of stuff happening here. A lot. If you're having trouble buying XRP in the USA, don't miss out on the opportunity with BITUNIX. It's in the pinned comments below. Just click on the link. It'll bring you right there. You can trade in the high times of volatility. No VPN required. Heck, if you send crypto from another exchange and offload it to another exchange, you don't even need to do a KYC. They're available in the USA. Like, I don't want to feel like a criminal when I'm trading XRP or crypto. So if an exchange is making me do a VPN, they can kick rocks. Oh, XRP absolutely has a bright future. It's just, it's one of those tokens with tons of, not just utility, but it's got tons of potential in the landscape that's coming across the world. It's not just the USA, but when we go from paper to digital, crypto's in a unique spot here. If you are paying attention, pay attention to this one right here. WAXP is one that over time here, now that it's corrected some, and it's pulled back just a little bit. It hasn't anything great with the pullback. But it is coming towards this uptrending support. And hopefully if this is the length of this consolidation, and then eventually it breaks out. And now it would have to break out, obviously. This is if it holds. And over time, let's just say it ends up somewhere over here through consolidation. And then it were to break out, that's like a 14. That's only to 14. That's not the longevity of the move, but that's the over the top. And then just for transparency, Floyd, and this doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I always show the downward target too in case this gets rejected. Then we can see, you know, you could come all the way down to like that 3.5 cent mark. If it came to 3.5 cents, I'd be the happiest person. Do I think it's going to get 100% drop from rate or, you know, 50% drop? Nah. It's going to be tough. Could it happen? Sure it could. Sure it could. So, but that's what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to start accumulating this in a small amount. This is for when the gaming convention happens. It's about a month and a half. I'll give more information on that. But I'm looking for more gaming tokens that I think are in a position that they can do something. So that's a smaller one that doesn't get a lot of attention. So remember what we said, if it fell through there, 633 is the next big support. This is why I say don't get too excited when something happens, but at the same time, even with that consolidation, even when we came on the air, or right when I was about to come on the air, it was at 62, 61 and a half, and then it just pushed up. So now we're in the consolidation. Remember what I said, don't be surprised if it drops a quick 3% around the close. It just happened to do some of it before the close, that's all. It still had that same 3 to 3.5% drop that it was going to have. That's the way to get rid of longs. Think of a leverage trader who took it at 66 thinking, oh my God, this is not stopping. Or God forbid 67 when it basically tapped. And all of a sudden, this is the idea of why leverage trading, I think, is for all intents and purposes a scam. It's kind of like, it's not a scam, but it's like the casino. The house always wins because they have no emotion. They don't have to worry about it. They just have the liquidation number. Plus, I don't like the fact that you only have to be between 72 and 78% down within your leverage to get liquidated. They don't give you the full 100%. That's kind of their collateral, which means you're paying anywhere from a 22 to a 28% interest rate just to get that collateral. That's ridiculous. So, man, there's so much stuff here. I'm trying to unpack why I still have time here. Because the kids are going to be going to bed soon. They got school in the morning. And it's been an hour and a half already. But we're still having fun. I'm having fun. Randad, thank you for the thousands you've made me in a bear market. Hey, Randad, thank you so much for not only being part of Tom's Army for 2 years with the 589, the XP 589 Moon Badge, 58.9 cents for the new ones. I made that back in 21 and said at the end of 23 it'd be 58.9 cents, not $589 like everybody said. And we basically ended there. You are welcome, my friend, and thank you for the 10th super chat. I really appreciate that on the lives. Number 10. That's a healthy one of 50. Oh, I mean, there's many opportunities here if it's going to retrace. If it's going to retrace, the first opportunity, you really want it to hold this. You don't really want it to pull back. But yeah, it absolutely could retest at 607 and resupport it because we have had the W reversal. So let me put it into a smaller time frame so it's easier for some to see. But we've already had, well, one could constitute, well, I guess it's an inverted head and shoulders. But that would mean that you could still come down here. Maybe you back test it and push up if you want. Or you're just playing this around and then you pop out. But we need to hold this area. We absolutely need to hold this. Otherwise, like I said, it could be a fake out. You know, that's why I like being in spot. We can watch it all. We can have moments of excitement like that. You know, at least we did have an increase in volume. That is still a mid-tier hold there. And if we do push back, but now, like I said, we're ending up in the overbought now in some of these areas. Oh, yeah, I said thank you to him. Julie says thank you, Randad, for that donation as well. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, so. Yeah, you walked out of the room when I seen it. Just for that second, you went to check on everybody, Julie, is what I said. And you're only gone for like a minute. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing with XRP as a whole. So we're going to watch to see if this is a fake out or something more. But at least we had that little rally that I was hinting at the beginning. Now, is that an exhaustive rally? We'll see. And if that's an exhaustive rally, what I mean is it came back up and it retapped again. That's 67 cent area. Now, as some said, the AMM goes live at the end of the week. So could that bring liquidity in? And is this front running that? We don't know. We don't know. I suspect a lot of volatility here, but in the next 36 minutes, we're gonna have to figure it out. Kiss me. Maybe you haven't watched the rest of the market rally so far compared to XRP, but XRP, if you look at it in terms of a valuation compared to where the rest of the market is on the run, this bull cycle, or at least this bear market rally cycle, XRP is 70% undervalued, which means we're only about 70 cents on the dollar, or 30 cents on the dollar in comparison to most of the other cryptos that have ran. So like when you compare it to Bitcoin, it's like XRP's price, we're only getting paid 30 cents on the dollar when we sell out in comparison to where it should be in this part of the cycle. But like I've always compared to, back in 2021, in April, everybody was doing the same complaining. We were all, well, not a lot of people were here because I just started, but a lot of people were mad because Bitcoin was so far out ahead of XRP. Well, what happened with XRP? It went from 59 cents, and in a matter of 9 days, and that's being generous because it might have only been 8, but in a matter of 9 days, it went from 58 cents, 59 cents, all the way up to $1.98, and then nobody was complaining anymore because it had effectively caught up to Bitcoin in 8 days, 9 days. But then it was done. We were never to see a new high or a retouch of that level again, up until now. Absolutely it did, Kiss Me. I'm not saying that this move's going anywhere. I'm not saying that this is broken down at all. I mean that this is going anywhere. I'm just saying in comparison to the market, we're undervalued, but that doesn't mean we're just going to run unopposed. I agree with you 100%. As of right now, I still say this is a fake out unless it lets us do what we need to do. And I don't want it to be a fake out. I want it to break out. But if it gets rejected here, now this same downward motion, that target, if we break down, is still on the table. Nothing's changed. It just moves out a little bit. And I'm not confident either direction here because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. There's a little bit of momentum that could suggest that maybe we make a push to 72. But right now it's tricky because, like I said, I did not want it to fall back in the daily, back into this formation, and it did. Look how this candle looks. We're firmly back in here. So let's just pay attention to how it goes. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to leave it here because my voice is starting to go.
Somebody said how many cents is the all-time pattern needed for my
Oh. Oh, here, I'll go to the all-time pattern real quick. Here, I'll show you. In the 77, I have this all listed out on my chart, so very easy to show you. But please, if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button on the way out so YouTube will recommend this live. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you appreciate it and you want to see more of my content. Consider joining Tom's Army or sending one YouTube super chat per month to pay it forward. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA or abroad, look in the pinned comments for BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees. You've also got their up and high times of volatility. And you don't need to use a VPN to trade your favorite cryptos. It's that simple. I'm not using a VPN and being treated like a criminal. I don't like it. So basically, and the all-time highs, the very first push, it was anywhere between 330 and 350, depending on exchange. And that happened in January of 2018, which is where I circled and have the arrow. Now, when you come down here, this is the first hit of support down here. This is when that uptrending consolidation started. It took 27 months to get down here from all-time highs, and it's around 10 cents, 10 and a half cents. Then from there, it goes up, but then we have a crash again. And that right here in December of 2020 is when the lawsuit was announced against XRP. Still held that uptrend, then went parabolic here to $1.98 in 9 days. 9 days. Took 9 days. From right here when it finally broke out, it took 9 days. That whole thing happened in one weekly candle. So then we went from $1.98, then we hit the uptrending support in the 77-month consolidation for a fourth time here. And this is right here, and this is back in November of 22, we hit under 30 cents. Then we hit it again here. This was about 30.3 cents on January of 23. Then we haven't hit it again since. Now we're starting to break up. Now the resistance we finally hit a third time, confirming this whole pattern. The whole 77-month consolidation is confirmed now. We got a third hit of resistance finally a couple days ago at 75 cents. So now you see what's happening. We're pushing through in this weekly now. Is this a very well disguised, some kind of inverted hammer that forms by pushing up more in the weekly? Or is this an early sign of a gravestone? Right now, we can't say because it's so early in the week. But, so I hope that helped answer that question. That was all of it. And then, if this pushes until the end of the year, and we continue the consolidation, it can go all the way into here. And that is December of this year in 2024. Nobody can really say why we're pumping. We could have just pumped because the trading bots, because of where we got in the rotation of the pattern. If it could be just as simple as the fact that we came down to support and the trading bots wanted to pump us, or it's the start of a wave that comes in for the AMM going live at the end of the week. We're not exactly sure why we pumped, but we can't even call that a pump, honestly. That could have been a fake out by everything. Unless we can break out of here. We don't know if it pumped yet or not. Yeah, it was a quick rally. But I don't know if that's really classified as a pump. Yeah, it squeezed about 7-8% real quick. But now we got to see if it plays out truthfully. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to call it a wrap here as we're under 64 cents. Next level is the watch is 63.3 cents. So, but at least during the whole time in this live, you got to see what was about to have. But yeah, thank you all so much. Have a blessed evening. And hopefully this continues. But if not, watch 633 and then watch 603 or 605 now underneath. If we get rejected at any time at 60.5 cents, 12.5 to 13% drop is still available and effective with that rejection. So at least have that in the back of your minds. Be cautiously optimistic, but understand that's what can very well happen. Can very well happen. Have a blessed evening, everybody. And JW said hi to you, Julie. Thank you all so much. seriously, thank you all so much for this record as well, as we went over 400 viewers for the first time in the history